Hi all, and welcome to another day in my attachment style series that I'm running until the end of the year. If you're new here or you don't know who I am a relationship therapist. I qualified back in 2002 in CBT, NLP, hypnotherapy, psychotherapy, counseling, all that lovely stuff. And more recently, I qualified in attachment theory, and that's really where my interest lies these days. Although I may add in sex therapy in the future because I really, really fancy doing that as well. Anyway, today I want to move on. We've talked a lot about the early years of attachment styles and the main core wounds that I come across when it comes to each of the different attachment styles. So today I want to start on healing. Specifically today, I'm going to talk about healing the anxious attachment style, taking you from overthinking to more inner peace, a bit zen sort of thing. So yeah, let's talk about healing anxious attachment today. That and with anxious attachment, you've got that constant cycle of overthinking, analyzing every silence and every word that's said, and worrying that love might disappear if you're not like perfect. And if you've ever found yourself replaying a text or wondering what you did wrong or feeling sick with anxiety when someone pulls away, then this video is for you. Because anxious attachment isn't about being too, emotional. It's about a nervous system that learned early on that love isn't consistent. It's just not consistent for you. But the beautiful part about this is that you can reteach your body and your mind that love and peace are safe. That's the wonderful thing about attachment styles. We can rewire them, we can relearn, we can earn security from it. So, when you grow up with unpredictable love, maybe affection one day, withdrawal the next, your body learns to stay on high alert. On high alert, you start scanning constantly for danger, and you're almost never out of fight or flight or fawn stage. So you're always looking for, are they upset? Did I say something wrong? Have they lost interest? Are they annoyed with me? And this just carries on and on and on in your brain constantly throughout every single flipping day. It is a fucking nightmare. I know, I lived it. That's not you being needy. That's not you being needy or too much, as I'm sure you're often told. That's your nervous system trying to protect you from the abandonment that is your biggest fear. That's your nervous system trying to protect you from abandonment. You learned that staying connected meant staying hyper aware. The only way you could stay connected to others was to be hyper aware of every move they made and what they could be thinking about doing next. You were always thinking one step ahead, two steps ahead, three steps ahead. You're not just stood at one bridge waiting to cross, you're thinking three bridges ahead. But healing begins when you realize you don't have to earn love and you don't have to chase safety. You can create it within yourself. You don't need it from somebody else. Always nice, but you don't need it. That's where healing comes in. That's when healing really begins, when you realize that one little thing. You don't have to earn love. You are lovable just as you are, and you don't have to chase safety. You can create these things within yourself. You don't need somebody else to give it to you. So I would say that step one, and I want to give you some like proper things that you can do today because I've talked a lot about the theory, but I haven't really given you anything you can do apart from a bit of reflection. So I'm going to talk you through some of the things that you can do to help begin this. And we'll go into a lot more detail over the coming weeks, but we'll start today with a few simple steps. So step one is to reconnect with your body. Reconnect with your body. So anxious attachment really lives in the body, in that like tight chest feeling or the racing heartbeat and the urge to do something to feel safe again, even when that something makes you unsafe. You still have that deep urge to do something. You can't just sit still and be with it. You need to do something to make yourself feel safe. So the first step in healing is to slow your body right down before your brain starts to spiral. And here's how I suggest you do it. When you feel triggered, pause. Take 3 deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. 3 of them. I'll learn to count one day. Take 3 deep breaths. Don't do anything until you've done that. Then ask yourself, where do I really feel this in my body? And place your hand there. So if you're feeling very anxious and you're really like your chest is tight, place your hand on your chest and breathe into that space for 90 seconds. Imagine every breath that you take in and keep it slow and steady. Don't start hyperventilating yourself. Slow and steady. Breathe into that space for 90 seconds. Imagine the air flowing there and just cleansing it out. Emotions are just energy in motion, basically. If you stay with them long enough, if you sit with them long enough, they pass. And that simple act tells your body, I am safe right now. I am safe in the here and now. So step 2 is to reframe reassurance, basically. So reassurance isn't bad, by the way. It's human. We all need it. It's a human need that we require sometimes. But the problem is, oh, there's my cat jumping on me. But the problem is when it becomes your only way to regulate, um, and that's not a good thing. So before reaching out for reassurance to others, and normally it's like a partner or a friend, and you're panicking and you're over texting them, and you're like, please just say something nice to me, and I'm going to be a nightmare until you say something nice to me. Just reassure me that I still matter to you. Before reaching out for reassurance, doing anything crazy like that, pause and ask yourself, what am I hoping they'll say that I could say to myself? Why do I need them to say it when I can say it? Then speak it aloud. I don't care where you are. I don't care where you are. Say it out loud. Say it out loud. Even if it's just a whisper to yourself, you stand there and you say it out loud. Whatever you want them to say to you, you say to yourself. I am loved. I am loved. And just keep saying it. They don't need to reply immediately for me to be safe. I am safe. They don't need to reply immediately for me to be safe. I am safe. And their silence doesn't mean rejection. I don't know what they're doing. I can't even guess what they're doing. But their silence doesn't mean rejection. You're not denying the need by doing this, by the way. You're meeting it internally first. That's the key. You're not denying it. You're meeting it yourself first. And that's how you really start to rewire your brain from dependence to self-trust. Because as anxious attachers, we are very dependent on the people around us to make us feel better. It's not safety, though. You can't always rely on others to make yourself feel better. You need to have the ability to make yourself feel better. And that's how we rewired the brain to do so, from dependence to self-trust. So step 3 is emotional containment and the pause practice, I call it. And one of the hardest things for an anxious attacher is tolerating uncertainty. We hate uncertainty. You know what? I am now into the secure bracket and I still don't like uncertainty. I like to know exactly what to expect. And, I know that things go wrong sometimes, but still, it does make me feel a bit safer when I know exactly what's going on. So, but as an anxious attacher, we really can't tolerate uncertainty at all. You feel discomfort and your brain goes like, I need to fix this right now. I need to fix it right now. But that impulse, that texting, that explaining, that chasing actually feeds the anxiety loop. It really feeds the anxiety loop. So when you feel this way, try this instead. When you want to react, pause. Even if you have to say to yourself, I need to pause before I do anything. And take these 3 deep breaths again, in through the nose, out through the mouth, like nice and slow. And ask yourself, what would make me feel safe right now? What would make me feel safe right now? then give yourself that. Whether it's grounding, whether it's journaling, whether it's going for a walk. I used to find walking very therapeutic, to be fair. I can't, unfortunately, anymore because I was left disabled after a motorcycle accident. I'm in another bedroom, by the way, today. I'm still in bed, but I was in pain in my bed, so I'm now in my daughter's bed, hence the Hello Kitty behind me. So anyway, going for a walk can help. Just sitting, doing something, taking your mind away from that anxiety that you're feeling. So do a puzzle, do some drawing, do some writing, do a bit of grounding, do a bit of meditating. YouTube is full of meditations. I've got meditations on here. Use them. That's what they're there for. In fact, actually, I'm going to do some specifically for attachment style healing. So every time you hold that space instead of reacting, you teach your nervous system, I can handle discomfort without losing control. And that's real healing. That's real healing. And you are going to fall down when you first start. I did so many times, but I'm so much more controlled now. So step 4 is to build a secure inner voice. So the anxious inner dialogue sounds a lot like, they're pulling away, or I said something wrong, or I'm too much. And you're constantly in this state of negative self talk towards yourself. And we need to reframe that to things like, I'm safe to wait. It's not going to hurt me to wait. I'm safe to wait. I can let things unfold as they're meant to, as they're going to. I can't do anything to stop it. So I can just let things unfold. And I am enough even in silence. I am enough even in silence. So we need to reframe these thoughts to something um, that makes us feel safer. Write these down if you have to, and read them daily. That's what I had to do. I had little sticker notes all over my flipping house with these things. So anywhere I walked, I saw it. That worked like a dream, by the way. This isn't about blind positivity. I hate toxic positivity. I really dislike that. I've done numerous videos over the years on my very strong dislike for toxic positivity. But this isn't about blind or toxic positivity. It's about retraining your nervous system to associate calm with safety, not panic with connection. And that's the real issue for us anxious attachers. So step 5 is practicing trust in real relationships. So healing anxious attachment happens in relationships. That's where it happens, not by avoiding them, but by choosing safe ones. Start with people who make you feel seen. It doesn't matter who it is, friend, a colleague, your partner, a family member, it doesn't matter. Start with people who make you feel seen. Notice when someone does show up. Anxious attachers often miss that because they're scanning for rejection constantly. So we miss the times where somebody actually does show up for us and they do show us that they care and we do matter to them. So try and really notice, remind yourself of the times when people did show up for you. You don't need to always be scanning for rejection. You need to notice these things. Let others meet you halfway. Trust doesn't mean ignoring red flags, by the way. It means not expecting them at every turn. That's the difference. So it's not ignoring them. That's not what I'm telling you to do. It means not expecting them. Wait and see. Don't just expect they're going to be there. So, because I love to do these reflections, I'm going to do another reflection for today. I know I've talked a lot today, I'm really sorry, but it's important to go through it, I think, in as much detail as possible. So, today your reflection is, what's one small thing you could do today to make yourself feel emotionally safe without needing anyone else to do it for you? One small thing. Just think of one small thing. What will make you feel emotionally safe within yourself without needing somebody else involved? Do it. One small thing. Maybe it's breathing before you react. That's a small thing. We can't dismiss these things. These are works. Maybe it's repeating "I'm safe right now" to yourself. Um, Maybe it's choosing rest instead of rumination. We have a big tendency to ruminate as anxious attachments. Healing your anxious attachment doesn't mean you stop caring, by the way. It means you stop losing yourself to care for others. That's the thing. We tend to abandon ourselves so that we can care for others because we believe that if we don't care for others in a very strong and over the top way, they're going to leave us. They're going to leave us. And the sad thing about it is that we are our own self-fulfilling prophecy because half the time we push them away. So it's the shift from chasing love to trusting it. You are safe. You are loved. And you are enough, even when someone doesn't say it. Take care all. Bye.